in looking effectively at the role of derivatives is to take the credit space, which is credit generally, what happened. Now, the key instrument here is what we call the credit default swap contract. Now, there's a lot of mystique about these contracts, but in the end, they're credit insurance. So you might have had a bank which essentially has a loan to a company, and for some reason it wants to insure that loan to prevent themselves from suffering loss if the company fails to pay. So what they would effectively do is go and find somebody else who wants to actually take that risk, and they would reinsure themselves. Now, in insurance, you can only insure something you own. Now, and the transaction that we've just described is one of those. You have the loan, you're insuring it. But once you have derivatives in play, and credit is just one area, you can do any number of transactions, irrespective of whether you actually have the risk. So one way to look at the analogy is, let's say you and I own property. I own a house. I can only insure that house once. The derivatives universe essentially enables anybody to actually insure that house. So you could insure that, somebody else could do that, so 50 people might insure my house. So what happens is, if my house burns down, now the number of losses in the system becomes proportionately larger, because it's not only I who have lost and therefore the insurer has to pay me, everybody who is insured has to pay out. So what happened in the system is we used derivatives essentially to amplify the losses.